Hi there, this is a video about Alexanders, the plant that has an S on whether you have one or many plants. Normally associate Alexanders with coastal areas, it's the Romans that brought it over, but I actually have it where I live as well, which is inland, and there was Roman activity here, so that probably answers that question. What I'm going to do is take you through the growing seasons and also show you 3 culinary uses. Once the cotyledon leaves have died off, which are big fat juicy round things, these are the little plants that you see. And these are actually growing in a crack in my garden. So before you know it, once the little cotyledon shoots have come out, you get these thinner ones coming through sort of December time. Here we are, early March, and the flower heads are starting to form. We're going to harvest some and make a soup, and what we're looking for is not thick old things like this because they'll be too woody. We want the smaller ones like this. So I've gathered a little bit to start with, a good fistful like this. This will just about do for one person, give or take. But I'll just sort of show you some ID features on this as well, because it is an Apiaceae member. This is the main stem. It always has this kind of channel running through it, and it's usual to have 3 stems coming off the main one. The leaf is quite distinctive, and the smell when you get it, when you scrunch it up, it's a bit like the smell of if you'd just eaten a load of celery leaves, which is what the taste of the outside skin's like. When you come to the actual stem, if you're looking close up, it's very, very smooth. There's no hairs. It looks like there are ridges, but they're very smooth ridges. They're not very pronounced. And the hole through the centre that it's got is actually quite an elongated one. Always get your IDs 100% correct. Okay, making decent progress through them. I thought I'd do them outside because it's a lovely spring day. And these are the ones I've done, and this is what I'm just going to show you what the skin comes off like. Just scraping like that, nice and gently. But if you push too hard, especially when they're young and fresh, because these are quite juicy when they're young, the actual flesh sort of collapses somewhat. I mean, you'll probably see there, that's a particularly good example. It doesn't damage the taste or anything, it just makes them a bit harder to skin. So you keep doing this, and then what you'll find is if you get them all to the end like that, split the end off like that, and just give them a wash, and you'll get all this gloopy skin off, which is where a lot of the strong taste is. If you imagine eating some celery leaves, and it's like times 100 on the taste of that. So just stripping it off actually does make it taste like regular celery. Now there's lots of greenery you can put in with it, nettles, cleavers and the like, which are all around here, but I'm going to put some of this in. It's called few flowered leek. Quite nice actually, give a little bite. I think they're actually better tasting than ramsons. Now, looks a bit like that, and that's one of the flowers. It's called few flowered leek because there's hardly any of them. So, you start chopping your Alexanders into small bits. I'm going to put some few flowered leeks in with it. I'm going to put some vegetable stock in, the one that doesn't come out without being stuck in with a spoon. And after that, your secret ingredient is a little bit of Parmesan crust. What I'd also suggest as well is once we do the soup, I'll just put those in a little bit later, else it destroys them. There we go, I've got a little rolling boil going there. Get those bits in. Right, so we'll give those a little cook down, turn it down to a simmer. Chuck a little bit of Parmesan in as well. Okay, so I'm just bringing the stock up to the boil, and I've got the Alexanders in there all chopped up, and also, if I can find it, trust me, the Parmesan's in there. You'll have to just take my word for it on that one, the looks of it. Oh, there it is. So obviously I'll put that down to a simmer, let that cook, and then I'll put the few flowered leeks in towards the end, because as I said, they get destroyed in the heat, and then I'll just blitz it. There we are, it's been simmering away a little while. I've just blitzed up the Alexanders in there, making sure I didn't blitz the Parmesan up at the same time. And now, just before the end, as I said, I'll just put a little handful of these few flowered leaves in. Not only does it add a nice flavour, but if anyone's trying it that doesn't really like that skin flavour of the Alexanders, because you can't get it all off. It just helps mask that as well. It does need sieving because the Alexander stalks are quite stringy. And there we have it, Alexander's soup with a little addition of some few flowered leek leaves. That's not easy to say. I'll make the soup as a little experiment. I'm cooking a few pieces to make them candied like Angelica, which is the same family. So I put enough boiling water to cover them, and there's 3 dessert spoons of sugar in there. And then once they're done, I'll bring them out for a day and let them dry. So here we are. It's the candied ones, having done the soup. We're going to have a little taste of those. Now, just so you can see, there's the size difference now. This one's been dried and candied. That's the candied one, that's the fresh one there. Angelica, which is obviously, as I said, in the same family, was dried and candied and used to decorate cakes. So I thought I'd just do the experiment and we'll see what it's like. That's not bad actually. However closely you peel a piece of Alexander's, it's always got that little twang of the skin. But that's actually, the candied process is actually hiding that quite well. I'd be happy to have that as a sweet, let alone put it on a cake. So there's 2 culinary ideas, and we haven't even got the flowers out. Talking of which, here they are. We're in mid-April. It's not the most fantastic flower ever. There's sort of a greeny yellow hue to them. The plant itself perhaps could, thinking about it, be mistaken for parsnip, wild parsnip. But the wild parsnip has actually got an asymmetrical leaf to it. And here's a close-up. Here we are, fast forward to autumn. I've harvested some Alexander's seeds here. They're quite hard, quite tough, but we'll grind those down and make them into a condiment. So I've just ground some of the Alexander's seeds up. There is a definite hint of pepper with it as well, and what I'm actually going to do is cut it with some ground pepper and use it on the next available camp. And there we have the Alexanders and the peppercorns ground sort of a 3-to-1 ratio, with the Alexanders being the majority in there. Nice smell. And again, I'm going to try this out later. A pepper grinder works.